and welcome to another episode of Garage Game Day Sports. I am your humble host as always, Louis Longoria. I want to talk a Big 12 matchup today. I want to talk the 25th ranked Texas Longhorns and the number 12 Oklahoma State Cowboys. Longhorns welcoming in Oklahoma State to DKR for an 11 a.m. kick this morning. Texas 4-2 on the year, 2-1 in the Big 12. Of course, coming off that heartbreaking loss to the Sooners in the Red River Shootout, a walk-off rushing touchdown put them down for good, 54-48 loss. Oklahoma State 5-0 on the year, 2-0 in the Big 12, trying to keep their Big 12 championship hopes alive and maybe even college football playoff hopes alive. So a big one down in Texas this morning. I'm going to start with Texas. The offense, very explosive, averaging 52 points per game the last 4 games. And that coincides with Casey Thompson coming back, taking back the starting job from Hudson Card. This offense looks like a different animal with Casey in the backfield. And, of course, you got Bijan Robinson, who's trying to strengthen his Heisman Trophy candidacy. Been balling out. Had another huge game last week against Oklahoma. Had a big one against TCU, Texas Tech. So he's racking up the yards, racking up the touchdowns. Texas needs to keep racking up the wins to keep Bijan Robinson in the Heisman conversation. I think he'll put up big numbers today. A stingy Oklahoma State defense, though. This team is built a lot like Iowa, some of your Big Ten teams that are predicated on defense. They thrive on forcing turnovers, but they don't get a whole lot from the quarterbacks. Spencer Sanders doesn't really do it for me for Oklahoma State. Less than 200 yards through the air, 7 total touchdowns, including a couple on the ground, 4 interceptions. He doesn't really push the ball down the field and doesn't really get the offense clicking. You don't see those big explosive plays that can really swing a game around. And I just don't see an explosive output from Oklahoma State today, with the exception of their running back, Jaylen Warren. I do like this kid. He stepped up. He's been a bigger threat running the ball, and the Longhorns have had trouble stopping the run game. We saw Kennedy Brooks last week with Oklahoma really stymie them. Zach Evans had a big game for TCU. Basically, the entire running back committee of Arkansas ran all over Texas, gashing them for over 300 yards. So the Longhorns definitely need some work stopping the run game. So they'll have to zero in on Jaylen Warren today and put more emphasis on him rather than Spencer Sanders, and really force Sanders to beat them through the air. DeMarvion Overshown had a huge game last week, starting linebacker. He'll have to have a similar game this week. And that pass rush is going to have to really get after Sanders and attack Jaylen Warren, not let him bust out any big plays that can really swing the game. Oklahoma State has a very active secondary. Their corners, they thrive on turning the ball over. Jarek Bernard-Converse leads that defense. So Thompson's not going to be able to telegraph the ball or really air out the ball and let the ball sail out of his hands, or Oklahoma State will generate turnovers. So that's the one thing as a Longhorn fan I don't want to see is, costly interceptions or balls that, could have gone elsewhere, or easily telegraphed balls that Oklahoma State can capitalize on. To me, if the defense generates turnovers or they get some plays out of the special teams, they can definitely be in this game and win this game. Texas has the far more explosive offense. Their defense shows up at times, but I think they can make enough big plays through the air to win this game. I think they get big plays from Bijan. I think Casey Thompson makes some key plays. We've seen Jordan Whittington and now Xavier Worthy step up. He had a massive game last week, over 200 yards through the air against Oklahoma. I think Texas does enough to win this game and hand the Cowboys their first loss. I've got the Longhorns 34-27. Putting them on track to potentially rematch against Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. So that's the game I wanted to cover today, but feel free to like, comment, subscribe down below on YouTube. Follow us at Game Day Garage on Twitter. Like us, Garage Game Day Sports on Facebook. My name is Louis Longoria. I will see you guys next time.